So, hi, Angie B, coming to you from Angie. Anywho, guess this will be my first vlog attempt. And what should we talk about today? How about B-movies? Because, if you read my journal at all, you know I'm a little bit insane about the zombies. I think I've gone over why I like zombie movies so much and why I spent 2 years writing an honors thesis about them enough on my journal. But there's a whole other slew of really cheesy, really ridiculous movies out there that I feel just don't get enough love. Sure, you've got the cult classics like Rocky Horror Picture Show and the Evil Dead series by Sam Raimi, which are, cult classics for a reason because, hello, they're amazing. But there are a whole bunch of other really, really ridiculously splat-tastic, really corny, cheesy, horribly acted, but somehow lovable movies out there. Being who I am, and having the friends that I have, the Taco Bell gang and I have spent a lot of Friday nights watching horrible, horrible B-movies, like Pro-Life, which I think the only redeeming factor of that movie was Ron Perlman as a crazy redneck, and A Lobster Baby from Hell. So, come on. And then you've got movies like Slaughter Studios and Backlot Murders, which I actually just watched for the first time last night with Jason and Jer Bear. And I have to say, a lot of these movies are just so bad. Like, not even I can really find redeeming qualities in some of these movies. But you have to slog through the muck to find the real diamonds in the rough. And I'm just going to talk real quick about Backlot Murders and Slaughter Studios because I saw them last night and they're fresh on my mind. I have to say, I think that Slaughter Studios has one of the most inspired and ridiculous and out of left field endings I've ever seen of any movie ever. I don't want to give it away because the whole the whole point of watching the movie is just to see that inspired ending. But let me just say this. Yes, there's horrible acting. Yes, there's a lot of naked titties. Yes, there's a lot of really ridiculous off-screen kills, so sometimes it's not as satisfying a slasher flick as you could have. But the ending is so good. If nothing else, it's worth watching the whole hour 45-minute movie just for that last reveal. It's priceless. Then you've got the Backlot Murders, which has the distinction of having one of the Coreys in it, Corey Haim, as a druggy rock star, which is kind of ridiculous. But then you've got a lot of really awesome on-screen kills, some really interesting dialogue, which, let me tell you, corny, corny, corny. But then you get Richard Fleischman, who's amazing. He's the best part of the whole movie. That and a certain scene between the killer and another person. I don't want to give away too much. But let's just say, this ain't a knife fight, this is a stab fight. And it really made me laugh out loud. Then you get the ending, which totally sets up for a sequel, and I have to say, I'd kind of like to see one. Yeah, I know, bad B-movies aren't for everyone. But, bear with me, okay? Because there are some out there that just, you have to admire, Sure, the acting's horrible, the writing's kind of cliche and not so great, and sometimes the special effects are absolutely laughable. But B-movies, they're really the testing ground for the next wave of directors and writers and actors. Peter Jackson got a start in splat-stick B-horror movies like Brain Dead and Bad Taste. And look at where he ended up, directing Lord of the Rings. The guy's an awesome, awesome cinematic genius, and he's got a lot of respect nowadays. And anyway, B-movies, you just have to admire because, yeah, they're horrible. But someone actually believed in them enough to give these kids, or whoever it was making them, a couple $1,000s to actually make the movie. So you've got to admire anyone who has the balls to write something like this, then actually try to pitch it to someone, and then manage to actually get money to make the monstrosity. So, I guess maybe B-movies are a lesson in what it takes to get a movie made. Sometimes you have to use shitty actors who are, the only reason why they're in the movie is because they're willing to take their tops off or they're willing to get an arrow through the neck. Sometimes B-movies are just, excess. But that's what I love about them. They're so over the top and so ridiculous. They can do stuff that you would never see in a straight-laced mainstream movie. So, I mean, yeah, you can deride B movies as much as you want, and I totally understand if they're not your cup of tea. But sometimes, just sometimes, you can find a B movie that's actually not even a B movie. It's an A movie masquerading as a B movie. So you should give them a try. And even if they're not your cup of tea, try MST3K. Because, #1 way to make a B movie watchable, have a man and two robots mock it